Good times.
I just love everything.
Just all of it?
I love all the things.
Every single one of the things.
Just things. Things are love.
Things are nice. Things have a place.
My dog has spaghetti in her hair. McKinley. We had spaghetti and...
Did you guys have spaghetti tonight?
Yeah, and McKinley's got this habit of throwing her food on the floor like a weirdo.
And then the dog just rolls in it?
The dogs eat it, but she throws it straight down. It's terrible.
It's hilarious. Your dog has spaghetti hair.
Yes.
If she liked westerns, she could be in a spaghetti western.
I don't know what that is.
Doo-doo-ch.
Spaghetti western.
I don't know. It's a thing. I don't know.
Probably indistinguishable from rambling. Welcome to the A&D Show.
Hello and welcome back to the A&D Show. It's been a long 2 weeks, Austin. It's been a long 2 weeks.
I feel like we just recorded an hour ago.
Yeah, like maybe even 10 minutes ago.
Man, crazy living, huh?
But it's been a long 2 weeks since our last episode. And boy, what a great episode. A little bit of a long episode, but a good episode.
It's longer than usual, but I felt really happy with it.
Yeah. And we got a great episode planned for today too. But before we get into it, let's do a short break for our sponsors. Gentlemen, here's the deal. We all like to take a bath every once in a while, maybe a shower.
I enjoy showering. I'm a fan of being clean.
I think as a whole, on average, men overall shower a good between 2 and 7 times a month.
Hopefully, it's closer to 7 than 2. Continue.
Maybe beyond that. Who
someone
knows?
who's big on
an avid bather.
I just
big on hygiene.
I'm a daily shower person.
I feel
like the average male should also be a daily shower person.
Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. If you are a daily showerer, or maybe you're just that 7 times a month guy or less, that's kind of nasty. But you know what? To each their own. But for all of you bathing men out there, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
We'll open with that, but continue.
But here's the thing. We've got a great sponsor in the form of Dr. Squatch. Yes, that's right. Dr. Sasquatch. Sass of the Squatch. Sassy guy, that Squatch. But he makes some delicate and wonderful soaps and shampoos that are made from all natural ingredients, from essential oils, and that have some all natural, supernatural, maybe not supernatural, exfoliants built into them. We have actually been trying out individually, not at the same time. We've been trying out some of they've sent us.
My back.
No thanks. I'll pass. But they sent us a few of their products, a few of their bars of soap, and one of the ones that they sent us was the pine tar scented soap, and that is a fantastic scent.
It's life changing.
That's the one I like the most. Which one do you like the most?
Right now, I'm really digging the baby rum. It's amazing.
Rum. But they are just top quality products. Go check them out.
All natural.
I've been a fan of theirs since their inception with their Kickstarter a few years ago. So go check them out.
Yeah, I have sensitive skin and I love it. It doesn't dry my skin out or make me
it's
break
really
out
good stuff. Really good stuff. Also, the A&D Show is brought to you by none other than the one and only LootCrate.com. Loot Crate is a subscription box company. You can also buy boxes independently, but they're a subscription box company, $25 a month, and you get a box of all the greatest nerdy, geeky things you can imagine. I think you said that the actual value of the contents of the box is well over $50.
Typically, every month it's over $50 for the value of that box. It's a very good deal.
Yeah, and they've got all the cool nerdy things that for that nerd inside of you, or for that nerd that you know and love. We're getting close to the Christmas season.
Yeah.
So
sign somebody up. Sign up a loved one.
Yeah, sign up a loved one.
And when you do that,
get them a nerd box. And when you do,
use our promo code.
Go to lootcrate.com/AD show for 10% off your order.
Or when checking out, you can just use our promo code in the promo code box, AD Show, and that will also apply that at checkout.
Yeah. So set up your loved ones, your friends, your family, or yourself. Treat yourself for a lootcrate.com order. promo code AD show, and they'll get you set up. Let them know we sent you. All right, now on to the podcast. Okay, so today's episode is going to be a lot of fun. I'm particularly looking forward to this episode. Why? Because I love hypotheticals. And today's,
you do love
I
hypotheticals.
do love a good hypothetical.
You love hypotheticals
the same way
much
that my
more than
friend
you
Corey
should.
loves a good murder, I love a good hypothetical.
Now, does Corey love a good murderer or a murderer?
Probably
Maybe
both. Probably
Maybe
both.
I feel like I know Corey semi well. We've talked on more than one occasion.
Yep.
I feel like he may have bodies in the basement, but also he's a lot of fun to be around. So I'm not going to tell anybody.
Shout out
about
to
it.
my boy Corey, who might be a murderer.
Let him see, dog. Don't kill me.
Yeah. So if the police come to your house, Corey, it's not us. We promise.
We didn't tell anybody about your murders.
But I know I do love a really good hypothetical. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is what if things just disappeared or were never invented at all. This is going to be great. This is going to be a lot of fun.
The worst idea in the whole wide world.
So listeners, buckle up because this is going to be a mind-blowing experience for all of you. Maybe not.
You'll
Maybe
laugh,
it'll just
you'll
be normal.
cry, you'll be embarrassed.
You might poop yourself. We
good
don't know.
night. What
There's
kind of
really no
show
way
is
to
this?
there's really no way to gauge how people are going to respond to these things. All right, so first things first. First on the list, I should say, microwaves. Okay, now we all use a microwave. If you don't use a microwave, what century are you
I
from?
use it today to heat up my ramen noodles.
Yeah, get your act together, sheeple. Get a microwave. It's not going to kill your brain. It might kill your kidneys.
It's true. Listen, when they first came out, like that was the big fear was like these are going to cause brain tumors.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll tell people about this on my cell phone.
Right. There's
one's
more
already
radiation
invented.
emitting from your cell phone than there is from an actual microwave.
And even that, I talked to someone the other day. I'm getting off on a tangent, but that's kind of my style. Talking about,
I think that's our entire podcast style.
Yeah, it's true. Talking about the hoax that cell phones were causing brain cancer back in the day, and it's the amount of radiation that's emitted by these things is minimal at best.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't lay it on my head whenever I slept. I put it
Yeah,
on,
just
on
make a
charging
helmet of
base
nothing
or on
but
my
cell phones and
or,
just
you know,
have them
I put it
against
like
your
on a
head all the
charging
time.
base or maybe on like a nightstand. But
Yeah.
also, even if you did like lay your head on it to sleep, which is to say, don't do that because you'll start a fire. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's also not very comfortable.
yeah.
Because phones are pretty heavy, some of
But
them.
I said there's a big fear back in the day that microwaves were going to cause like tumors to grow at you. I'm going to heat up my my Ovaltine in my microwave.
Ovaltine.
And when I drink it,
My cream of wheat.
I'm gonna get tongue tumors.
Tongue tumors. So the question is then, what if microwaves were never invented? I mean, what kind of an impact do you think that would have on modern society? I mean, gone as the entire industry, beautiful, wonderful industry of ramen noodle, because there's no more ramen noodle without microwaves. Ramen noodle can't exist without microwaves.
I mean, you can do like the packets of ramen. You couldn't
I mean,
do
you
like the
could boil
yakusaba. No, I'm not gonna boil water. What am I, poor?
I mean, my grandmother does that.
I have boiled water tonight for coffee. I get it, but
My grandmother actually makes a special, she calls it grandma's soup. I think I've talked about this before. It's literally like 50 packages of ramen noodles and then in a big pot.
grandmas are the best. They're just crazy.
She's great. Shout out to my grandma. She doesn't listen to the show. I might show her this episode though.
The problem with microwaves, like I say, the benefit of microwaves is that they make everything so much easier. Everything is just easier in a microwave because what takes, think about. I've got to melt butter. Okay, let's say tonight we had dinner and I made garlic bread. So I melted down some butter to make my garlic bread rub.
Yeah.
Or brush sauce. So butter. It's butter and garlic. It's not like a mystery. It's butter and garlic powder. Okay.
Your specialty
So
garlic butter.
if you're looking for a recipe, take butter, melt it, put in garlic powder, stir it together. Voila, garlic butter. Thank you, Papa John. So I remember sitting there and thinking about I think about it this way: if I had to do that, like without a microwave, I got to get a pot out to put on the stove, put butter in it, wait for it to heat up enough to melt the butter. You're dirtying a lot more dishes, and it's taking a lot more time. Give me a microwave. It took 35 seconds in the microwave, and voila, I'm done.
I guess the quick and easy answer to what would life be like if the microwave had not been invented or just never existed to begin with, life would pretty much be the 50s.
It'd be just inconvenient.
I mean, ever seen the Dick Van Dyke Show?
How old do you think I am? I'm 33. I'm not 53.
I mean, I'm 29, and I've seen every episode of that show twice.
Nana, though.
Huh?
You probably watch it with your Nana, though.
No, watched it on my own. It's one of my favorite shows.
Oh, pathetic.
Listen, it's a great show. Check it out. Anyway, not a sponsor because they're all probably dead. But anyway,
oh my god,
if you watch that show and watch how they public service announcement. Sometimes I say things and I shouldn't.
Dear diary.
But if you watch that show,
the death of the Dick Van Dyke Show cast today.
I think I think Mary Tyler Moore just recently died, but Dick Van Dyke's still alive. Shout out to Dick. He's a guy that listens to our show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think the quick and easy answer would be watch the Dick Van Dyke Show, and you'll understand what life would be like without a microwave. Now, what would happen if microwaves just ceased to be? But we had already had it. All of us had them. Like, say, for example, tomorrow we woke up and every microwave in the entire world was no longer around. It just disappeared. Like, improbable, absolutely impractical. But what would we do? What would life be like?
Think about popcorn. Everyone, everyone's got to go back to that thing on the stove.
Yeah. Or, think about my entire breakfast routine would be completely shot.
Right.
Because I do that instant oatmeal stuff for breakfast.
Think about Hot Pockets. Now I've got to use a toaster oven for
think about ramen noodles. I mean, everybody loves ramen noodles, right? And nobody could eat them anymore. Everybody would have a whole pantry full of them.
We've already covered this. You can eat the packets, but you can't eat the cup of soup, cup noodle, or the yakisobe, the rectangular container that goes in a microwave. I mean, you could do the packet. You can do packets on the stove. That's how I do it.
You could also just eat them raw. Crunchy noodle.
This is the most delicious sandwich in the world.
I do enjoy a crunchy noodle.
Do not. You're disgusting. Don't be gross.
I'm not kidding. I've actually taken ramen noodle, crushed the noodle up into bits, sprinkled the seasoning on it, and just ate it like that. It's pretty good. It's like chewing on plastic, but it's pretty good.
Welcome to the David Show, because Austin left after this god-awful segment.
So, okay, well, let's move on from that. What about TV? What if TV had never been invented? I mean, the obvious would be that people would be out in public more.
As someone who hates books,
you'd be forced to read for entertainment. God forbid.
That's my biggest fear in life. I gotta pick up a book.
Yeah, there's only a few things that Austin's afraid of. One of those is picking up a book.
Snakes and books, mainly.
Snakes and books. Snakes even behind glass, but also just books in general.
It's not. Listen. For me, I've always joked that I don't like reading, and it's not much of a joke. It's the truth. I don't like to read.
It's not much of a joke.
But the thing is, but I've also followed it up with, I wish that I was. I truly wish that I was a reader. But when I pick up a book, after about 14 and a half seconds, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, I get that.
There are very few books that I've been able to read cover to cover, and I think every one of those was. One was the last book that I read cover to cover, other than the book that my pastor gave me, was Matthew Berry's fantasy football book. I can't think what that's called off the top of my head, but I read that on
Fantasy
vacation.
Football for Dummies?
No. That's me.
That's the story of your life.
It was 2 years ago that I read that book on vacation, and I read it in 3 or 4 days. I'd sat there at the beach. It would have been 2 years ago because it was before McKinley. But I would sit there at the beach, and I would read this book cover to cover. It was a phenomenal book, but it kept me interested.
Yeah.
And that's the joy of TV. I've heard public speakers that speaking on leadership and whatnot before say, you can watch a movie for an hour and a half, 2 hours, but you can't listen to a speaker at a seminar for 45 minutes. And they said, well, yeah. But guess what? In those movies, there's transformers and explosions going on behind the scenes.
Right.
So listen, if you can get up on stage, talk about your leadership style, and also have explosions going on in the background, I will be way more invested in this right now.
Listen up, James Maxwell. You really want people to listen to what you're saying.
Listen,
you have some kind of car.
Jimmy, if you want to really bring your show to the next level, pyrotechnics is where it's at.
Pyrotechnics. And 3 words.
I think for a lot of people, television has become a huge avenue for entertainment.
Yeah.
you look at the cord cutters. Okay. Now I love movies. I'm a big movie guy, but I don't get a lot of chance to watch movies. Typically, if I'm watching something, it's on Netflix. It's a show, half hour to an hour long show.
Yeah, a couple of years behind.
Right, I'm way behind. And that's kind of one of the perks of, when you look at television, is that it can be boiled down. But I also, I'm a huge sports buff. I'm the only part of the A&D show that's a huge sports buff.
The only part, yeah, that's true.
But I love sports, and so for me, television is where I can't go to all these games. I can't afford to go to all these games, but I can watch the games on TV. And so I think television. If you legitimately said there's no television today, like it's gone forever. It never existed. Like I often wonder what the world would be like. I think it would be like the 1800s, but just more advanced.
Yeah. I think you would probably end up with. Have you ever seen that movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis?
Oh man, how long? That movie's old.
I think it was like 2007.
No, is that old? Oh yes,
that may not be that old.
No, it is. No, you're right because I remember Breaking Benjamin did a song for that. They did "I Will Not Bow" was on that soundtrack.
Do you remember?
I remember that because I was big in music videos, and that was part of the music video. Was Bruce Willis and that was in that music video?
Yeah.
I can't talk. Words make that hurt.
Do you remember at the end of that movie though, whenever they unplugged everybody from their machines, and there was just a bunch of confused people walking around outside? Like that's what I imagine the world being like if TV just ceased to exist tomorrow.
Wake up tomorrow, it's like, where did it go?
Yeah, people wouldn't go to their work. They wouldn't go to their jobs. They would literally just stand outside looking around like, what do I do with my life?
I would guess that there would be some similar form of entertainment. There would be something.
People would probably lean a whole lot more into like going to plays.
Yeah.
Theater.
Yeah. Just live acting.
Yeah.
There would be acting of some kind where there's a story being told. Because I think that people genuinely enjoy the story aspect of television. They enjoy
the storytelling bit.
And that's why I wish that I was more I wish that I could find books that gripped me, interested me, that I could not put down.
Yeah.
Now granted, now in life I've with a full-time job and a podcast and YouTube channel and I'm back in school working on working on another degree. I don't have time for TV in general. I would say that right now in a given week, if I factor out Illinois football and basketball and NFL football, I would say that I probably watch on average 2 hours of TV a week, maybe 3 hours TV a week.
Yeah,
but I do enjoy a good late night binge you watch you find a new show that you're watching, and then next thing you know you're laying in bed watching it, and then you look at your watch and it's like, oh my gosh, it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, for me right now,
I could be at work in 4.5 hours.
Right, guilty pleasure confessions for me right now. That show is Stargate Atlantis. Absolutely love that show.
I did Ozark.
So much.
I just finished Ozark season 1.
Yeah,
and I don't know if I'll continue it. People went on about how great it was, and I've always been a big Jason Bateman fan. Mm-hmm. So the show's a little rough, but frankly, it doesn't grip me like I was hoping it would. Like I thought that the story was a bit predictable, and I honestly, it's kind of hard to follow, and there are parts I'm just not really sure that I just really enjoy.
Unlike Stranger Things, which is just great.
Can't wait for that to come back out.
Come on, Stranger Things. Come on, Duffer Brothers. Get your act together. Let's get that third season going.
I'm trying to think of the last show that I watched religiously that I didn't fast forward through. I tried Supernatural, and the first 2 seasons were great, and then it was just literally the same thing every episode. It's oh, they're gonna die. Oh, nope, they're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna. And I mean, there aren't a lot of shows that can run this long gamut.
Yeah.
Of
because you look at shows like The Walking Dead, which I'm not a huge fan of. I've only seen one episode, but you look at that show, and every cast member of that entire show is expendable, and that's the way they get away with it. Why are we talking about television all of a sudden?
We're way off topic.
We're way off topic. Let's get back on topic.
That's my fault.
Okay, let's move on beyond television because we can't talk about it without going into all the shows that we
can't,
like.
I know.
What about shoes?
So we're all just barefoot forever?
No, okay, so if shoes were never invented, or if shoes just stopped being a thing, we woke up tomorrow with no shoes, I think there'd be a whole section of the country that would probably not even notice, like Arkansas.
Well, you're from Arkansas. What's that like? Is everyone just shoeless Joe Jackson down
Yeah,
there?
like there's just a good chunk of the state that people just don't wear shoes, you know?
Like, because they don't want to, or because they just don't, they can't afford them? Like,
Because
is that literally, I'm not being dumb. Like, is that?
I think it's probably a combination mostly because they don't want to. Some of them because they can't afford them. Most of the time it's because they don't want to, though. I think shoes are a pretty easy thing to come by if you really are, purposed in your mind to have a pair.
That's probably accurate.
You can go over to the
accurate.
Goodwill. Like, I literally heard about a guy stealing a pair of shoes from the Goodwill, and I'm like, they're 50 cents, bro.
Been
like,
there.
That's pretty much the entire crux of the story of the movie Holes, or the book Holes.
Wait, the Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
Never seen
There was
it.
a pair of shoes that were stolen. He gets accused, and he gets sent to that prison camp where he digs a bunch of holes.
Never seen it.
It's a great movie. You should check it out.
But I think that people would find a way to replace that entertainment with something else. There would still be, whether it's a sporting event. I think sporting events would probably be a lot more heavily attended too.
Yeah.
I think that people would find some sort of entertainment replacement.
Yeah, just the same way that they would do the same
Book
with
sales
shoes.
would probably go up too.
People would probably end up being like hobbits, where their feet get big and they have thick whatever
Gross.
on the bottom of their feet, and they just walk around barefoot all the time.
Calluses.
Yeah.
Gross.
Except for like Wisconsin, where it's pretty much a tundra all the time.
Then now everybody has hypothermia.
Shout out to my northerners out there, Wisconsinese,
like,
Michiganese.
When it comes to shoes, I'm one of those where and Haley gets on to me. Like, I get home from work.
Yeah, you just
and
take your shoes
she'll
off
be
immediately.
She'll be like, hey, I mopped. And I'm like, oh, you should take your shoes off. And I go, oh, yeah, so I like to wear my shoes all the time.
Oh, really?
I don't take them off
You're
when I
a
get
constant
home.
shoe
I'm
wearer?
a shoe wearer.
I mean, you're not wearing shoes right now.
No, like, she mopped.
Oh. And then here comes me with my giant boots trudging through your cleanly mopped floors.
When you leave tonight, I'm going to get yelled at. No,
I mean, such is life.
I'm a shoe wearer. I like wearing shoes.
A shoer?
If nothing else, like I've been big on like the Toms lately. Like, I enjoy Toms. I just think that because they're lightweight and they're really thin and they're comfortable.
Yeah,
and that's probably what I prefer. Like, wear around the house, like not like slippers.
Yeah,
like I like something like that around the house. I don't know that I could really like. I've seen some jacked up feet, man. Like, I have seen some feet.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, with
There's a
as
guy-
prevalent as shoes
there's
are,
a-
it seems a little bit
there's a guy at our
invasive
church.
to see feet.
Yeah, there's a guy at our church that his feet look like gargoyle feet.
I don't want to know who it is.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Don't tell me.
It's like gargoyle feet. Like, they're just janky looking. Like, they just look janky, and it's frankly terrifying.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that people would probably end up creating. I mean, not that I think that we couldn't survive without shoes or foot coverings, but I think people are just that. Just naturally want to cover up their feet.
100% agree. 100% agree.
What about this is a good one, and all the ladies that listen to our podcast, which is probably like one. Shout out to I have my friend Kristen. She listens to this podcast.
Kristen, where's Kristen from?
Shout out to Soda Pop. She's from Michigan, I think,
Oh, Michigan.
or Minnesota.
Youper, huh? Yeah, sure, you betcha.
Yeah. What's all this about? She's basically from Canada.
She's a Canadian. Oh, even worse.
Anyway, but for all the ladies, she's actually not there now. But anyway, for all the ladies that listen to this will be a super cringe moment, and you might have nightmares after this. So if you're particularly frightful, you might turn off the podcast now. Don't, though, because it's going to be good. Hairbrushes. I have this visual image in my mind. It's like a visceral thing, right? Where I can imagine what the world would look like if hairbrushes just ceased to exist. Like, if we woke up and there was none to be found, right? And at first, you probably wouldn't notice because, I mean, your fingers make a pretty good hairbrush. You can
You can do it.
you can get a good amount of tangle out of your hair with just your fingers.
A little bit.
But if you've seen Batman from 1989, when all of the cosmetic products were like poisoned,
It's hysterical.
and then everybody's just like sitting around and they're looking all nappy and gross, and their
hairspray, like,
hair's all
just
frizzy. It's like an afro. Everybody's got an afro.
Oh, it's so good. It's just
That's the visual image I have if hairbrushes cease to
be
exist.
fair, in 1989, that was the hairstyle, which is that big poof.
That's true. That's true.
I got pictures of my aunt Jana. If anyone knows her, let her know. I just gave her a shout out. Back with her church, they had done like a choir trip. They went on a choir trip, and every single woman in this picture had this big old, it looks like a big old loaf of bread. Just on the front of their head. Yeah. Their bangs were so poofed up, it was just that was the style. And big bows.
That's hilarious.
It was awful. It was terrible.
But I think that's the visual image I have in my head. We would pretty much instantly be teleported back to 1983.
I think if you're a guy, you can get away with it. Slap some gel or whatever, or some wax, or some fiber.
Why did you say it that way?
I think it's I hate that they got on my throat. I was trying to play off the funny moment.
Slap some gel in it, some wax.
Slap some gel in it, some wax.
Some wax.
some fiber, something.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of fluff your hair up or whatever you do with it. I think if you're a girl, it's a lot harder.
Yeah. I mean,
the longer your hair, the worse it's going to be.
I mean, you
would see a lot more women would just go in with the Miley Cyrus buzz cut.
Yeah, they just all of them shave their heads. They'd all go Britney Spears 2001 and just shave their heads
with her shaved head.
Oh gosh,
ugh, gross,
that'd be a
grandma.
disaster.
Gross.
I think. Okay, ladies, I think you can come back to the show now that we've finished talking about that. Because
you're okay now.
There have been a number of different things though that have been surmised as to what would happen if they no longer existed. I mean, take for example, historically, Hitler tried to get rid of books. Mm-hmm. They had massive book burnings. Well, the book, I can't remember their author off the top of my head now, but Fahrenheit 451. Ray Bradbury, thank you. Wrote a story exclusively about what would happen if all the books stopped.
For the record,
they were taken away.
They remade that. And it was on HBO. HBO made a movie based on that book, and I watched it.
Was it good?
No.
Horrible.
No.
Is that the one that had Michael B. Johnson in it?
Yeah, Michael Shannon also.
Yeah.
All I can do is I look at Michael Shannon. All I can see is Zod and how. Actually, full disclosure, I thought he played General Zod to a T. I thought that was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, he did a great job.
Man of Steel, he did excellent as Zod. But Henry Cavill was garbage. Continue.
They treated the Zod character like garbage.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a different topic altogether. Well, I mean that was a quick discussion.
It was a quick discussion. Quicker than I thought.
We blew through that real fast.
Well,
here's what we can do now that we're pretty much done. Then we have so much time left. We can tease the future. Okay, here's the thing. First of all, let me ask this question. Well, going back to Batman 1989, does that technically count as a Christmas movie? Because a good portion of that happened around Christmas.
There is snow on the ground. You are true.
Yeah. I mean, the same thing is said about Die Hard, right? Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It's exclusively around the Christmas season.
Christmas movie.
Even has Christmas music played throughout. Mm. He never actually says Merry Christmas, but it's the thing. The whole party in the Yakatomi Plaza is a Christmas party. Yeah. I mean, so could it be said that the Batman of 1989 is a Christmas movie? Yes. I think so.
I will agree with that.
Perfect segue to what's coming up in December. Okay.
Can't wait.
Here we
are.
Excited. We're at the end of November. Thanksgiving is literally tomorrow. That's not true.
No.
What is today?
Yesterday.
Friday? Yeah.
Thanksgiving was yesterday.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanksgiving was yesterday.
Spoiler alert, this is
today. It's Black Friday, so you're getting all your Black Friday shopping going on. But
if you're listening to this while you're Black Friday shopping, let me give you some advice.
Just a little tip.
I wear a medium.
It's medium. And some shirts. My wife Marge and others.
My wife said I wear a Marge.
I wear extra medium.
It broke my heart that she told me I wore a Marge. I'm more of a medium. Thank you very much. I like my shirt to be form fitting. I'm also a 32 waist and length.
Are you trying to get some sponsors from some support from our listeners?
Yeah, buy me stuff.
Wow.
If you're going by J. Crew,
oh gosh, here we go.
They make a really nice slim fit pant. It looks really good on me. Listen, be honest. I'm going to be really vain for a second and just say that I look phenomenal.
Are you done?
I'm sorry, I'm done.
So we got some great things coming up for you guys, and I wanted to take a moment here at the end of November on our Black Friday episode, and I wanted to let you know that we have a great month ahead of us for December. we've got not only 2, but we have, count it, 3 episodes coming out in December
So good.
in our Christmas episode run that we're going to do, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So what we want you guys to do is be with us in the moment. So I don't know what I just said there.
I don't know either.
That was weird.
Worried about you.
So just tune in next month. We're going to have all kinds of good things. We're going to have a Christmas movie showdown. We're going to talk about the best and worst Christmases. And we're going to talk about Christmas holiday specials on TV. It's going to be riveting conversation, and you're not going to want to miss a single second of it.
Spoiler alert. I'm going to go all ham on the Hallmark Channel at least once, probably 2 or 3 times.
It's going to be great. It's going to be better than anything that the election season came out with.
Love it.
We're not talking about politics, though. We're talking about Christmas. So join us next month for all of your Christmas chat and nerd talk, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to definitively determine the number 1 Christmas movie across what is the time period? We're looking from the 30s to the 2010s.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Like a 60 year span, 70-year span?
Well, I don't count. Like I don't
know how
I'll
to
be
count.
honest. I'll be honest. People go on about like the old Christmas movies, like It's a Wonderful Life. Never seen it, and I'll never see it. So if we're discussing,
You're just never going to watch it.
Never
You
gonna watch it.
flat refuse.
I refuse to. If we're going to watch it, if it's in black and white, I'm not going to watch it. Let me be honest. Like that's why I quit watching Sin City halfway through. Like this is stupid.
That movie was pretty bad, though.
It was really bad. Really, really bad.
All I have to say is if the weather outside is frightful, I don't even want to know what the weather inside your brain is at Christmas time.
It's true.
Especially whenever the Hallmark Channel is turned on.
That's true.
So tune in next month. It's going to be a great month. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and a happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Merry New Year to everybody that is listening.
Merry New Year.
Happy New... Just going to scrutinize everything I say.
Happy New Year.
That's what I said. Happy Christmas, Merry New Year to everyone, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Why are we ending this way? We never end our podcast this way.
I don't.
It's like I always try to end it this way, and it doesn't work.
You do. You try to like happily close out the episode, and then it ends up being like this awkward, forced ending. And
Yeah, and then there's always some kind of weird there's always a slurping cup coffee sound at the end.
oh gosh, do not do it again.
It's too late. It's already done.
It's so bad.
If people are listening to this, they have to know at the end of this episode, I will be slurping on a cup of
I'm
coffee.
super depressed about this because this makes me really sad.
It's the best. It's
not the best.
It's the best.
It's not. He's very wrong.
All of our best is in that one
Well, I
one
appreciate
soundbite.
everybody here. I'm just so happy to be a part of this.
You know, since it's Thanksgiving was yesterday, I think it's appropriate to be thankful. But
Yeah.
we're not going to,
No? Okay.
because Thanksgiving's over.
You're correct.
It's Christmas time. It's Christmas. It's Christmas time. Thank you, Flight of the Phoenix, for that tune.
Christmas, I gave you my heart.
The very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Thank you.